No matter what game genres you like, anime games will always become the most looking game genre on mobile, and in the future, anime games have been developed into the next level through their RPG and MMORPG style. Of course, action hack and slash still become the most important type of game we will see. Please help this channel grow by like the video and comment which anime game mobile is the best. Top 12 Best Upcoming Anime Games Mobile. New Release Anime Game RPG MMORPG High Graphics Mobile. You can support this channel and send us a special thanks. PUBG X Mobile X Dragon Ball Super. PUBG Mobile X Dragon Ball Super Mobile. As the Dragon Ball fans, we all must be grateful because finally we have a Dragon Ball game mobile open world with a high graphic visual. Even though this game is a collaboration between PUBG and it doesn't matter because they took really seriously on making this anime game happen. I'm pretty sure you must have guessed about the gameplay. Yes, it has a third-person perspective with a long-range combat. We can use a skill by holding down the skill button to do a bigger damage. We cannot fly. We are only able to do dodge, run, and jump. The main goal of this best anime Dragon Ball Mobile is we will make a team up with 4 players and try to become the last man standing in the area. Before we enter the combat, we will have a chance to pick some Dragon Ball characters, which are Son Goku, Vegeta, Ultimate Gohan, Piccolo, and Frieza. Absolutely the best game anime open world game Dragon Ball Mobile. Bleach Soul Resonance. Bleach Soul Resonance. Finally, we will have the best anime action hack and slash on mobile. It's truly a hardcore action RPG game. The game's developer has been launched their first actual footage on his website, and it simply attracted me to play it soon. Bleach Soul Resonance doesn't have a simple movement while in combat. It's totally unreal movement just like the actual human in combat. The skill is really eye-catching and really flashy at the time the character slashes his sword. We can counter the enemy's attack and even do a parry to the enemy skill. You must be enjoying the sound of those swords when it hit each other. It is pretty satisfying. You must learn a dash skill to dodge their attack continuously. I reckon Bleach Soul Resonance will become a dungeon-based action RPG game. Best new anime game action RPG Android iOS. THRUD. THRUD Broken Heaven. Seriously, this new anime game is giving the player a new experience, and I really appreciate the developer thinking of a brilliant idea of the new anime genre. THRUD Broken Heaven is the best anime action RPG game, but it took place in the sky. We can clearly see how adorable the panorama is from the sky. The gameplay is we are able to get 3 characters in combat. We switch between the characters. Every character will have different characteristic of basic attack. Overall, I would like to say it's totally simple gameplay. The characters don't have any mana point to release his ability. We only need to wait for the cooldown to be refreshed. I didn't see any dust button, but don't worry because most of the enemies' attack are quite easy to predict. We need to keep hitting them to refill the ultimate skill gauge. Please take your time to enjoy how cool the visual of each ultimate skill is. The best anime games mobile, new anime RPG Android iOS. Fairy Tail Fierce Fight. Fairy Tail Fierce Fight. After we got several game titles of Fairy Tail with turn-based game genre, finally we find the most amazing anime game Fairy Tail on mobile, which is with action RPG hack and slash. Because this game's genre seems really fit with the Fairy Tail mobile, because we all know how the integrity of each character in anime is top tier. I guarantee the fans will keep playing this game when it launches on global. Fairy Tail Fierce Fight reminds me of Eden Zero gameplay, but the difference is we are able to rotate the camera, which is really important for us to player to see the condition around us, especially the enemy position. In combat, we can take 3 parties as a team and switch the characters. Every skill can be learned only when we have cleared a certain chapter or stages. Then, one by one skill will be unlocked. Even if every skill doesn't consume any mana, It's not as easy as you think, especially when you face the boss stage. They will have a barrier and need to be break it first to deal a higher damage. Best new anime game action RPG, high graphic anime game mobile. Millennium Tour Elf. Millennium Tour Elf. Very interesting graphic with high graphic. The sun glare is really sharp that makes the game visual seems really unreal. This game has a similarity with Honkai Star Rail, but in lower size and playable for mid-range phones. The gameplay of Millennium Tour Elf is, I noticed it has 3 different normal attacks. Each time the character finishes their turn, then the ultimate skill gauge will reveal automatically. Wait until it reaches the full percentage to release the special damage with extra cutscenes. Actually, this best anime game has a gacha-based game with collectibles new heroes. It has launched the Testa Beta 2 times in Bilibili apps, which is a Chinese game developer. In-game, we will meet a lot of cutscenes dialogue to let the player know the storyline. Overall, I would like to say this game is the best anime turn-based RPG with a casual gameplay. Tower of God New World. Tower of God New World. I didn't expect the gameplay just like this, because when we saw the gameplay video trailer, I thought it would become an action anime RPG game. In fact, the gameplay is an idle game. Tower of God New World is a tower-based game. We will face stronger monsters each time we reach the higher tower stages. This is the best anime RPG for portrait mode and also playable on landscape mode, and the screen is pretty fit on the game. The gameplay is an active turn-based RPG, so all of the players will do a normal attack automatically, but we only need to tap the avatar when the character is ready for the skill. We will have 5 characters in combat teams. Crystal of Atlan. Crystal of Atlan. This anime MMO action RPG game has no autoplay. In the village, we are able to see another player playing. They can forge the equipment, buy some stuff for combat preparation only in the village. Then if you think your character is strong enough, try to enter the dungeon. Honestly, I feel like every dungeon has a long story, but has such a wide area that makes us feel so satisfied exploring the dungeon. Most of the common monsters seems pretty strong. They all have a high defense and higher HP than the other MMORPG genre. That's why we need to use skill many times to kill the enemy. Crystal of Atlan allows the player to choose 1 new upgradable class selections, and we will have a chance to test their ability before we decide. The best anime action RPG games for Android iOS. Snowbreak Containment Zone. Snowbreak Containment Zone. Look at how impressive the game is. The graphics are so stunning, especially when you face the Titan robot is pretty unreal. I feel like the character or the enemy has a motion capture. The way of their movement is pretty realistic. This best anime game has an action RPG shooter game. We will play as a single player and try to wipe the enemy out on every stage. I really love this game not autoplay, but don't worry because you will have a guideline to let the player know which path you should go with. The gameplay of Snowbreak Containment Zone is we must try to aim the enemy's head to deal with higher damage. Try to avoid aiming his body because it will take lower damage. The ultimate skill is pretty cool with a massive area of effect. Best anime game RPG, high graphics, mobile. Black Clover Mobile. Black Clover Mobile, Rise of the Wizard King. No matter what turn-based RPG game you are playing, this anime game should be on your list. Everything was made perfectly. The graphic, the cutscenes, the story is absolutely top tier. This anime game has a casual combat mechanism. We can get one support ally by the other player with an overpowered and high-grade character. This support ally will help our journey faster and easily wipe the enemy by himself. Every character has their chain skill, which is a combination between 2 heroes and does a huge damage. While exploring the world, it has 2 concepts, 2D on the world map and 3D while in certain places like in the village, city, bar, and tavern. Best upcoming anime RPG games for Android iOS. One Punch Man World. One Punch Man World. This anime game is quite unique. The game's title is One Punch Man, But Saitama has a balanced power in this game. He cannot kill some enemies in a single punch. It's totally just like the other games and makes the game more challenging. Just imagine if the developer makes the real power of One Punch Man, then it will get bored faster. One Punch Man World is an action RPG hack and slash game. All of the characters are pretty similar to the actual movie. The skill, the story, and even the enemy, everything has the same concept and design. The combat battle is pretty fast and intense. We can get one character who will support us as the team. He will joining us on giving us damage. Best anime game Android iOS. METRIA. I'm a big fan of Asobimo company. His game has always become the most perfect game on mobile. Every person will easily fall in love with their games. Some of the reason is Asobimo always makes a RPG not pay to win or MMORPG not pay to win. This is what I hope on his new anime game, which name is METRIA. This action RPG has a super immersive landscape with a beautiful panorama around like a hill, mountain, lake, and also we can do a fishing activity on the lake. There are 3 characters that are playable and we can swap the characters while in combat. These features really help us adjust the condition to become easier. Finally, they add one big project, which is multiplayer mode. This mode will be so interesting and METRIA will become the most played MMO action RPG games anime mobile. Aether Global. Finally, we all can get a PGR killer because PGR or Punishing Grey Raven has been on top of the action anime games mobile. Right now, the Aether Gazer has the same concept and combat mechanism. There is one big difference between those games is in Aether Gazer, we cannot change the character, we only able to be supported by the other allies. So upgrading and strengthening up our team will boost our winning chance in combat. I really love that the gacha rate is pretty fair and for me, this is the best action anime game no pay to win. We can collect some resources through various dungeons and collect more stuff for free. The combat battle is pretty fast with a parry system. Best anime hack and slash Android iOS.